As the pandemic began to take hold, it was clear that in Europe, it was northern Italy where the problem was at its most acute. And I had friends there, and I was talking to them, and they were really, really scared about this new virus that had arrived, hospitals filling up, barely able to cope. And on a Sunday morning in March, mid-March of last year, in Lombardy, a decision was made to lock down the region. It seemed almost extraordinary that in peacetime, in a Western country, something called lockdown had happened, but it had. And what I couldn't believe was the response of the British government, which was on that very day to allow 17 flights of tourists to come in from Milan's Malpensa airport to airports all over the UK without a single person being tested, being given any advice, let alone being asked to quarantine. And that situation went on for months. We finished up, in fact, in the first half of last year with 18 million people flying into the United Kingdom without a single person being tested, and many of them leaving airports like Heathrow, getting on crowded London underground trains. I have to say, of all the things that have happened in this pandemic, I think I was angrier at the government for that than I was for anything else. It was a new virus. We'd no idea how serious it would be, and the British government, frankly, dropped the ball. Well, fast forward to where we are today. A decision has been taken that from 4 a.m. on Monday, you can come into the United Kingdom and you can fly in from an EU country or from the USA, and after 4 a.m. Monday, provided you can prove that you've been double jabbed, provided you've got a negative test before you fly, and provided you were given assurance of taking a test here on day 2, you can fly into the United Kingdom and do not need to quarantine. Why is this important? Well, I'll tell you what, if you go around the West End of London today, it is empty. There's no one there. And that's because the foreign tourists are not in London and not in many other parts of our country. It is estimated that the loss of that tourist trade is costing the British economy an amazing £639 million a day. Quite how they managed to get figures as accurate as that, I don't know, but it's costing us a very great deal of money. So does it make sense to open up to those that haven't been jabbed? Well, in business terms, it really does matter. There's only so much you can do on a Zoom call. Face-to-face meetings, getting together with people, bouncing around ideas. There's no doubt in my mind that that matters for businesses. There are also families that have been cut off from their relatives, cut off from their loved ones, who I'm sure are desperate, to get back and to meet with them. And I guess there's a whole generation of youngsters who perhaps have forgotten what going abroad on a summer holiday really is. So for all of those reasons, and given that we're assured that this vaccine does make us that much safer, that's what governments all across the Western world are telling us, and there is indeed some evidence that backs that up. For all of those reasons, I guess I'm in favour now. Much as I was in favour of shutting down at the very beginning, I'm in favour now of what the government has decided to do. There's just one slight problem, that we're saying yes to the USA, and they, thus far, have not shifted their position at all. You or I, as a UK citizen, we cannot go to the States unless we quarantine for a fortnight in what they deem to be a safe country. I went earlier in the year. I spent a fortnight on a Caribbean island before I would be allowed to go into the USA. So we're putting this on the table. We're giving this offer to Americans without anything in return. On balance, I think this is the right thing to do. I think we've got to get on with our lives. We've got to get our economies moving. I think this is the right thing to do, but I've no doubt it comes with some degree of risk.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.